Now that my posterior chain's on the map, very much so on the map. Every step that I take, I feel my hamstrings, I feel my glutes. Doing 10 sets of 20 reps on the GHD every other day will do that. It's very much on my mind. It feels good. I'm under recovered, that's for sure. But today I thought, okay, since my glutes and my hamstrings, my lower back, since it's already on the map from the previous session, why don't I come to the gym and front squat first, and then I will do GHDs after. Came in, and front squats felt pretty good. It felt pretty good not to have, minus 10 points of recovery. So I had a pretty good session. I felt quite strong under the bar. It's really weird, man. Like some days you feel strong, but you come in, but you just can't get the positions that you need for you to exhibit that strength. It's really weird. It's like mobility stops you from doing certain things. And the GHD back raises, what they do is they do something which allow me to get better positioning. So even though I'm more fatigued when I get to the squats after smashing myself with 10 sets of GHDs, even though I'm pre-fatigued from that, I feel like I can get better positioning. And so the number on the bar is higher than when I come in fresh. It's so bizarre, man. It's and the days where I have good mobility and I don't have fatigue are the days where I have the best chance of lifting the maximum weight. So, setting PRs and whatnot. But, coming in fresh, coming in without, pre-fatigue, I struggle to get the positions. It's like, come on, man. Like, it's weird. It's bizarre. It's frustrating. But, I've heard many people say that the warm-up, after years and years of training, the warm-up becomes your training session. I remember when I was a kid, man, I would literally roll out of bed and I would go into a full sprint with not a thought behind it. I remember when I was 23, 24 years old, I would literally come in and I would squat and I would feel better. I'd feel like I can squat right away. There's no reason for me to do anything prolonged to warm up to feel good in the squat. Even when I watched myself 4 years ago when I was squatting, I feel like my positioning was better. It's weird. Like as I've gone on, I feel like my positioning has gotten worse and worse. Even though I've gotten stronger and stronger, I feel stronger. I have more muscle mass, but the positions that I'm getting into just make me work harder. So it's like I've got more potential, yet I can't exhibit it because of the potential. The leverages are against me. That's frustrating. And this is why you see me, beating around the bush endlessly, trying to work out exactly how to warm up the body so I can get those positions without fatiguing the prime movers and the accessory muscles associated with that movement, so I can live the best way. So it's kind of like, when you watch Olympic weightlifters, when you watch some of these power lifters, I've heard guys talk about warming up for an hour. It's like, damn, an hour just to get moving. But this is the thing. Like if you watch the NBA guys, like, as they get into the middle to late 30s, you see that the professionalism really becomes extremely important. You can't just rock up 30 minutes before the game and get a triple double. You can't rock up 30 minutes before the match and expect to have like top scoring on the pitch. So this is something that I've kind of had to adjust over the course. And when I don't do this, when I don't respect this, this is when I get in trouble with the hip pain and whatever. So today, I didn't show it, but because I didn't warm up with the GHDs, even though I've got pre-existing fatigue, from 2 days ago with the GHDs, I can feel my hamstrings, I can feel the glutes, I can feel a bit of DOMs through there. It doesn't feel good just to go and squat cold. So I did some like leg swings left and right. I spent like 5 sets. I did 5 sets of 30 each leg. Warm up the hips, loosen everything up, and then I went into squatting. So it wasn't still. I didn't go in cold, even though I had the pre-fatigue and the DOMs through the mind muscle connection through the posterior chain. I still didn't feel like I could just jump into squatting. So, I wish there was a time. I wish there was an existence where I can just literally roll out of bed and go into an ATG squat perfectly upright. But that's just not me. It's not me. But, I also understand there's other people out there who can't deadlift. They can't lean over like I lean over effortlessly. Like if you ask me to deadlift every day, no problem. I don't have ever back pain. I don't have any troubles with pain associated with the hinge. Where my struggles are is with the squat. Squatting motions are very difficult for me. Hinging motions are not. And so that's kind of like I could literally walk in every single day without warm up and do it. But to get into a squat, squats are notoriously much more difficult for people than deadlifting motions, because you are requiring more joints, more mobility in total. And so, you throw in what you do for a living as well into the mix. Like, if I'm standing 8 hours and, in ED, working as a nurse, always standing, which is probably better than sitting if you think about it, but still, like, my ankles are copping it. And so my ankles are stiff. If you have stiff ankles, then you can just imagine it's going to be more of a vertical shin type of squat, which means you're leaning over more, which means you need more external rotation from the hip in order to kind of pseudo minimize the femur length by rotating the femurs out, because if I point the femur straight, then it becomes really, really bent over type of squat. So I need to do something, and this is where, like, I've tried stretching hamstrings, quads, and whatever. Stretching in itself, like as in squat, like in static stretching, almost has like a similar effect to me as pre-fatiguing the muscle, in that I don't feel very strong after I stretch. I know there's been research about this, and it's good, it's bad, whatever. My anecdote is that when I stretch a lot before squatting, I feel looser, and that's not a good looser type of feeling. Loose, like, you don't want to feel loose when you're trying to move maximum weight. You want to feel tight but mobile, if that makes any sense. You don't want the joints to be fluidy. You want everything to be tight, but allow you to get to the range of motion that you need. So you don't want just flexibility. You want mobility. I guess that's the distinction that I'm after. So today I did the swing. So basically dynamic stretching. That feels good. That feels like I'm ready to go. But static stuff doesn't work. So I'll trial that for the next few days. I'll still hit the gym. The only reason I'm going to the gym, man, like it's very simple for me. I would not be going to the gym if it wasn't for the GHD. So when I get the GHD, I'm probably gonna have another little stretch of not going to the gym, because there's nothing there for me. What's the point? Like, I want the GHD. That's why I'm going there. So hopefully I get that this week at some point. I don't know when they're gonna truck it in from Melbourne, but looking forward to it. I have to assemble it. I don't know if that's gonna be a hard process or not. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's a couple of bolts here and there, and then I can jump on it and have a workout at home. And then maybe I'll do it every day. Who knows? Maybe that could be my little cool down every single day. Not that it's a much of a cool down, because that could be a session in itself. The hamstrings, glutes, and lower back get lit up. And last night, man, this is the thing. Damn. Every time I think about hamstrings, glutes, and lower back, I can't stop thinking about Louis Simmons, man. That man, if he emphasized anything, it's that. It's all about the freaking hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. And when I do the GHD, what do I feel? Those three things are getting lit up. So do the GHDs, get the hamstrings, the glutes, and lower back, and you can squat, deadlift, and be athletic. Yeah, or you can try and discredit him saying, oh, they squatted this way, that way. My friend, even if you are quarter squatting, if you're quarter squatting 1,200 pounds, you have to be some sort of a strong human being to even tolerate that. So this is where I came from. Like, I used to kind of dismiss it as well myself. Oh, it's only a half squat, or it's only a quarter squat, it's only shit mobility. Do it. Try mimic what they're doing. Try and do that freaking sumo stand squat with 1,000 pounds on your back. If you can do it, I will shake your hand and tip my hat to you. The bottom line is it's very difficult. And what I've heard from them is that when you have really strong wide stance, you're going to have a strong narrow stance squat. But the opposite is not true. Training narrow is not going to do anything for you wide. So, smashing the glutes, hamstrings, and lower back is probably going to affect you athletically more so than any other group of muscles that you can train. You can train your quads, you can have tom plat squats and whatever, but the glutes, the hamstrings, and all that, that is athleticism. So I think the GHD is the best way to do it because there's no spinal loading and you can literally go freaking nuts on it. So I'm going to try and develop a GPP through that region of my body through using the GHD like crazy. So I can't wait. You can probably tell that I'm really excited about having it at home. You know, I've said stuff in the past like, if I could freaking fit that thing next to my bed, I would. Put that thing next to my bed, man. I'm sure my wife wouldn't be happy with that, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the type of machinery that you want every single time you go to the toilet. Oh, look at the GHD sitting there. Let me do that. Again, I don't have a mansion where a GHD can be fit, you know, into a toilet, but you get the point. Like, this thing is amazing. Anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I gotta go to work. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. I got carried away with my thoughts with all that training business. I forgot to mention I've got a new Patreon, Ryan Markey. He's been a supporter of mine for quite a long time. He's just increased to a higher level on Patreon. So Ryan, man, appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I know you and I have exchanged lots and lots of comments over the years. I feel like, I don't know how long you've been following me, but you've been following me for a long time. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to me. And it's a pleasure to see you still sticking around after all these years, all these videos that I've uploaded. Appreciate you, man. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.